I am Steve Cantrell. I'm with the Museum of Indian Arts and Culture with America Meredith. In America, can you tell us a little bit about the artist here, David Bradley, and his use of humor?
I know, this show is incredible how much David can cram into his artwork. It's incredible. But I think the humor, it's a way of conveying information that's enticing to the viewer, so he's trying to draw the viewer in. But I think humor challenges you to think outside the box. I mean, all humor is surprise, so. And I think all his work you could spend so much time with any of these paintings because there's so many levels and you see more jokes but also more information. I think that's his way of, he's not talking down to any of us. He wants to get us engaged, bring us into what he's talking about. Well,
and doesn't he reference a lot of, say, European painting and other icons?
But I think one important thing about David is he's looking at the entire world. So there's Japanese culture reference, there's Latin American culture reference, and also I think it's so important that I think he feels very strongly about conveying Native art history too. So he's telling about his own tribe, about tribes down here that he's experienced. There's so many layers, Plains tribes.
Well, so like when I walk in and I see sort of a riff on the Mona Lisa, what do you think he's trying to get across there?
Don't you think that's a touchstone that any viewer, like he's really trying to welcome the public into his art and his world.
Right.
And welcome the public and make them feel comfortable in Native American art history and his own Native American art world.
How would you put David's art in context of what other Native American contemporary artists are doing?
Right, I think David, what's really exciting to me about this show and what you guys are doing and what David's doing, he documented this time in the 80s, which Santa Fe went, it became a major art center in the 1980s. And there was so much interest in art as a market, so there was all these forces that he's completely, kind of lampooning, the financial aspect of art that people like to kind of hide under the rug. But it all happened before the internet, so a lot of this information isn't really accessible. You can't instantly Google it, but now thank you for, bringing this to our awareness and publishing the book about it, because it was such a pivotal time. This is postmodernism. This is the end of the modern era and ushering in the contemporary era we're in now, and this time of flux, he's completely documenting.
And so, like a lot of people walk in and they'll recognize the scene from the gallery, either downtown or here in the museum, and they'll go, "Oh, I recognize that person and that person." And so he's both documenting, but at the same time he is sort of poking fun.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of friendly. Like I know a lot of people wanted to be in his paintings, like it was an honor.
Well, I mean, and that's actually the nice thing about David's work, and you pointed that out, is that it's incredibly accessible, but there is a message.
And I think appropriation, sometimes in Native communities people hear the word appropriation and think misappropriation, but I think that's just what we do in music and art, is riff off each other, build on what the previous generation did. So he's showing how porous it is between different tribes, between Native and non-Native people, that Native art influenced non-Native art, which in turn influences Native art, that we're all working together. I think he's showing how alive all these interrelationships are.
So even though he's Chippewa, you actually see much more than just in his art.
Yeah, and I think that's honest. I think an artist needs to reflect the reality they observe. He lives in the Southwest. Santa Fe is a coming together. It's a crossroads of so many tribes and different cultures, and he's reflecting that in his artwork.